Tell me about yourself, tell me about yourself. Obviously, if it's a work or job interview, yeah, you expect different reactions. So vast and broad, way too open. Know what you want to know when you don't want to know what you want to know. Spend time knowing somebody. Job interview. First aid question. Hello. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Ambc. As in, if this is your first time of logging into my channel or coming across my channel, don't forget to like, subscribe, share and comment. So today I decided to talk about the whole first aid questions and job interview questions. Here's the thing, many people have really gotten tired of the whole tell me about yourself. Sometimes first aid questions sounds a bit like job interviews. It gets really tiring. I've seen so many tweets. If I find one in regards to the whole first aid questions or dating, people sliding into DMs and asking, oh, tell me about yourself. And it kind of puts people off. Most girls I know don't really appreciate that sort of question, like tell me about yourself. What do you expect the person to tell you about themselves? It's so vast and broad. Obviously, if it's a work or job interview, you can sort of navigate through what exactly the job or the interviewer is asking about. But first date isn't an interview. If you want to know somebody, narrow down your question. Open questions. I think tell me about yourself is way too open. You can ask like, oh, what do you do? Even at that, I think there's this list of questions that people go through. What's your favorite color? What's your favorite food? It sounds too schoolish. There's so many conversation starters. How was your day? What were you up to? How was last weekend? Like something else instead of tell me about yourself. Be more direct with your questions. I see guys also complaining of the fact that girls do not find it funny when they're asked, oh, tell me about yourself. And they feel like, okay, why exactly does that put people off when they ask you, tell me about yourself? It sounds like a job interview question, if you ask me. Once you grow to a certain age, you're like, okay, those are the questions like, oh my god, I really don't have time for this in regards to tell me about yourself as a first date or somebody or a guy getting to know you. You prefer being asked specific questions about yourself. And even if it's specific questions, you don't want it to be like, what's your best color? What's your favorite food? What do you like eating? And I might be wrong, people might like it, but I just feel it's too like, okay, what exactly is it? Like, there's a certain age you get to that, what's your favorite color? It's not really, it's a playful way of getting to know somebody, I think. You have job interviews that you come, tell me about yourself, you know that. I mean, I filmed a video preparing for a work interview, so I know the questions. When I'm being asked the whole tell me about yourself, I know what exactly they require of me. I've had DMs and on social media, people asking me, oh, I'd like to know you better, tell me about yourself. Because I'm like, okay, what exactly do you want me to say? What exactly do you want me to talk to you about? There's so much about me. Sometimes I reply, oh, there's so much about me, what exactly do you want to know? Or I send them a link to my bio from my website, to be honest, because like, okay, that is really broad. There is the work part of me, there is the hobby part of me, there is I feel that's a lazy way of getting to know somebody, if you ask me. You want a conversation, but you don't want to delve into specifics in regards to first date questions. If you want to spend time knowing somebody, spend time knowing somebody with specific questions. you can't use the same method an interviewer would use on the first date. An interviewer obviously doesn't have time. You should know what exactly the person is asking in regards to tell me about yourself, because this is a job interview. But in the dating scenario, it's more the main parts of you as a person. What are you like? What do you do in this sort of thing? Those are questions that you can start off a conversation with instead of telling me about yourself. If you truly want to know somebody and not put somebody off certain questions or how you ask certain questions, I believe that spend time knowing how to approach somebody. That girl or that guy may be a very great guy, but because you approach person, people aren't that difficult. And I don't think it's wrong for somebody not to like the whole time about yourself, because there's so much time about yourself you can get from people that's like, oh my goodness, really. And sometimes some questions are just repetitive. You know, the oh hi, how are you, what have you been up to, obviously it's the most recent thing of what I've been up to. Or I just had dinner. Then what did you have for dinner? I had so and so for dinner. Okay, that's good. Is that what you usually like to eat? So it's phrasing your question in a different light now. The person won't come forward as what's your best food, but from what have you been up to, what are you up to? It's sort of that way. It broadens up the questions. It broadens up in the possibility of questions that you can ask to get to know the person for that. I just felt I should do this video. It's really chatty because it just gets to a point that you're tired of the whole set of questions. And the question that people will usually ask is how old are you, or when was the last time you dated, how was your first relationship, what happened to your last relationship. Okay, now this is obviously extreme. I don't think they hate this kind of questions, to be honest. It's a question that you get to when you've gradually gotten the chance to know the person further. Some of the questions that you can ask if you're trying to get to know somebody, instead of the tell me about yourself in a dating scenario or in a first meet or first conversation scenario, so that you don't put off the person you're talking to, is, let's say, a picture on social media. A picture comes up and it's sort of it's a picture like, oh, this is a lovely picture, I love the dress you have on, or I love the shoe, I love your smile, you smile a lot, or what drink was that, or where were you, where did you go to. That's a conversation starter, and gradually you get to know the person instead of tell me about yourself, or I would like to know you. Okay, as a human being, we're complex people, so if you need to get to know somebody, you have to ask specific questions on what exactly you want to know, what information you want to get, and whatnot. So yeah, basically that's what I wanted to chat about. Some people might not agree with me, because I've seen guys, or I've heard guys being like, what are you feeling like ask you to tell me about yourself. But to be honest, that's really broad if you think about it. It's a really broad way of getting to know somebody, showing interest in that person, because it just seems really broad that you don't want to get into specific. It makes you appear lazy in regards to the way you're asking questions, and that person's like, okay, what exactly am I going to answer? What specific question? What do you want to do? You really want to know, or you just want to start a conversation, or you actually do not know what you want to know? See, that's the thing. You can't expect the person that you're asking that to know what you want to know when you don't know what you want to know. Does that make sense? But yeah, first dates is not the same as a job interview. So I think we should stop sort of asking questions in that light, in that similar way, or if you're an interviewer, versus on a first date, for goodness sake. It's a first date question, and first date questions, and it's not a job interview. First date questions, not a job interview. First date questions, not a job interview. First date questions, not a job interview. Tell me about yourself, tell me about yourself. Yeah, you expect different reactions, because the person is not applying for a job. You actually really want to know about them in its totality, but the job interviewer literally wants your skills, work experience, education, your CV, your resume. First dates question, or first dates interviews in quotes, is not a job interview. Is in its totality. Your family like, what you like, basically the nitty-gritty. I'm going on and on, rambling and emphasizing, because I just felt that it's really needful. But yeah, thank you so much for watching, guys. If you enjoyed my video, don't forget to like, subscribe, share and comment. Until next time, My name is Andy C. Evan.